You think you know finance? You've seen the movies, the tailored suits, the dizzying numbers on a screen. Cute. That's the brochure. The truth is a meat grinder, a hierarchy carved from ambition, blood, and sleep deprivation. Every run up the ladder, the air gets thinner, the falls get longer, and the price changes you. This isn't about stock tips. This is about souls. This is what it's like, at every brutal level, to trade your life for an empire. Let's start at the bottom, where the dreams are still naive, and the coffee runs black. The brutal truth: you are utterly disposable. You're the grunt, the code monkey, the Excel slave. You're 22, fresh out of an Ivy League, or pretending to be. You're the one pulling all-nighters, creating pitch decks nobody reads, modeling scenarios that will be obsolete by morning. It's a cattle call. Thousands applied. Maybe 1% made it to this cubicle hell. Your starting salary, ostensibly 6 figures, translates to minimum wage when you factor in the 100-hour work weeks. One wrong comma, one missed data point, and you're not just fired, you're blacklisted. Your entire existence is to make your associate look good, who makes their VP look good, and so on. You are a human spreadsheet, wired on cheap adrenaline and fear, constantly under the microscope for mistakes you don't even fully understand yet. The clock blazes 3:47 a.m. on a Monday. Your eyes burn gritty. The office is a graveyard of fluorescent hum and distant keyboard clicks. You're deep into a valuation model, a sprawling labyrinth of interconnected cells. A sudden, jarring error message flashes. Red, angry, a circular reference. Your stomach drops. This pitch is due in 4 hours. The MD is flying in from London. You scroll furiously, heart pounding. The cold dread of an impending mistake tightens its grip. The associate's last words echo. Don't screw this up. Not this one. The coffee is cold. Your phone vibrates with a text from home you won't answer. You're not home. You live here now. You get the foot in the door, the mythical entry into the most exclusive club. It costs you your youth, your sleep, your sense of self-worth beyond output. Nobody warns you about the second part. Star level 2, the associate. Star level 2, the associate. Your brutal truth: you're a high-stakes babysitter. Congratulations. You survived analyst purgatory. You made it. You're 25, maybe 26. You're no longer just pulling all-nighters. You're star managing the analysts who are pulling all-nighters. You're the project manager, the taskmaster, the filter for the VP's demands, and the shield against the MD's wrath. The hours are still insane. But now you have a team, a leash, on others. Your bonus structure is kicking in, tantalizingly larger. But so is the expectation. You're expected to be technically proficient, politically savvy, and mentally resilient. You're navigating conflicting demands, translating vague ideas into actionable tasks, carrying the burden of ensuring the work is star before it hits the next desk. The margin for error shrinks with every promotion. You're not just executing, you're orchestrating. Albeit a tiny high-stress orchestra, it's 1:17 a.m. You're on a conference call, 3 continents connected, the MD's voice sharp and impatient from a private jet somewhere over the Atlantic. An analyst on your team just sent a draft of the crucial market commentary. It's riddled with basic errors. You see it mid-sentence. The glaring typo in a client name. Panic flickers. You nod intensely into the void of the call, pretending to absorb the MD's strategy, while simultaneously Slack messaging the analyst. A furious silent torrent of corrections, revisions, and pointed questions. Your own presentation is next. You can feel the MD's gaze through the phone. Evaluating. Judging. The data isn't quite aligning. You're already calculating how to spin it, how to phrase the caveats without raising alarms. The stakes are rising. You get a taste of leadership, a heftier salary, a slightly longer leash. It costs you the ability to trust anyone below you, and the delusion that you're indispensable. Nobody warns you about the second part. Star level 3, the Vice President VP. Star Little Truth. You are the firm's frontline weapon. You've hit 30, maybe 32. You've outlasted 90% of your starting class. This is where the shift happens. You're no longer just executing. You're originating. You're managing client relationships, pitching new deals, navigating complex negotiations. You're the face of the firm to the outside world, bringing in revenue, not just processing it. Your compensation is now genuinely substantial, a number that makes your college friends gasp. But the pressure is multiplied. You have a book of business to grow, targets to hit, a reputation to build. You're constantly networking, constantly selling, constantly juggling the demands of senior partners, your own team, and the unforgiving market. Failure to bring in deals to expand your client base means you're just another expensive overhead. This is where the up or out philosophy truly bites. You're expected to be a rainmaker, a diplomat, and a strategist, all while still being on call 24/7. Midnight, you're in a private dining room, a silent, tense dinner with a potential client, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund manager known for his ruthless negotiating tactics. He just raised an eyebrow, questioning the efficacy of your proposed investment strategy, citing a niche market indicator you hadn't anticipated. Your carefully constructed pitch, honed over weeks, feels suddenly fragile. The expensive wine tastes like ash. Your mind races, cycling through alternative data points, potential pivots, a carefully worded defense that doesn't sound defensive. The MD is at home, probably asleep, trusting you with this. One wrong word, one moment of hesitation, and millions, not just for the firm but for your star bonus, vanish. The silence stretches, thick with unspoken judgment. You feel the weight of every analyst and associate beneath you, their livelihoods implicitly tied to your performance right now. You get significant wealth, a seat at the table, the power to influence massive transactions. It costs you your peace of mind, genuine relationships, and the ability to distinguish between your worth and your net worth. Nobody warns you about the second part. Star level 4. The director. The brutal truth. You're a titan in a microeconomy, constantly fighting for survival. The 35-year-old apex predator. You're now managing a portfolio of high-value clients and a team of VPs and associates. Your P&L responsibility is substantial, in the hundreds of millions, sometimes billions. You are a specialist, a market expert in your niche. Your word carries weight, moving assets, shaping strategies. The compensation is staggering, but it's entirely performance-based. Your decisions directly impact the livelihoods of dozens, if not hundreds, of people beneath you. You navigate geopolitical risks, central bank pronouncements, the erratic whims of global markets. There's no hiding now. Every quarter is a referendum on your competence, your foresight, your ability to extract profit from chaos. The internal politics are a brutal game of chess, jockeying for resources, for recognition, for that precious sliver of bonus pool. You're not just selling, you're steering star, constantly proving you deserve to be here. 4 a.m. Your phone rings. It's Hong Kong. The market just opened. An unexpected central bank move in a satellite economy, one you considered a low probability event, is causing a flash crash in a sector where you're heavily invested. Billions are on the line. Your eyes snap open, heart hammering. Your spouse stirs beside you, oblivious. You're already reaching for your tablet, scrolling through news feeds, market data, Bloomberg alerts. You bark orders into the phone, adrenaline surging, pulling up contingency plans, calculating potential losses, trying to anticipate the ripple effect. The VPs on your team are already being woken up, scrambling. This isn't just a bad quarter. This could be a career-defining blow, a reputational stain that follows you forever. The weight of all those zeros, it's suffocating. You have minutes, maybe seconds, to decide whether to cut losses, hold, or double down. You get immense power, unparalleled financial freedom, and the intellectual thrill of moving markets. It costs you any semblance of a private life, true vulnerability, and the nagging suspicion that one misstep could unravel it all. Nobody warns you about the second part. Star, Level 5, the Managing Director MD, the brutal truth. You are an emperor in a world built on quicksand. You're probably in your late 30s or early 40s. You are a demigod, a rainmaker of epic proportions, responsible for entire divisions, multi-billion-dollar P&Ls, and mentoring the next generation of predators. Your name carries weight globally. You fly private, dine in Michelin-starred restaurants. Your network stretches across governments, corporations, and shadowy sovereign wealth funds. The compensation is obscene. 8 figures annually, potentially more. But now, you are the ultimate scapegoat. If a division underperforms, if a major deal sours, if a scandal breaks, it lands squarely on your desk. You're constantly battling competitive firms, regulatory bodies, and the ever-present threat of internal rivals. You're not just making money. You're building an empire within an empire, constantly strategizing, recruiting, retaining talent, defending your turf. The pressure isn't just about money. It's about legacy, about ultimate power, about proving your worth to a board that sees you as both invaluable asset and potential liability. You're in your penthouse apartment, a panoramic view of the city lights stretching before you. It's 2 a.m., but your mind is racing. A major acquisition you've been orchestrating for 6 months, one that could define your career, is hitting unexpected antitrust hurdles. The government regulator just signaled a deeper probe. Your phone, sitting silently on the polished marble counter, feels like a ticking bomb. You sip your single malt, the ice clinking softly, the only sound in the cavernous silence. Your legal team is frantically drafting rebuttals. But the clock is ticking. Competitors are circling, ready to exploit any weakness. You review the deal points again, searching for an angle, a loophole, a strategic pivot. A billion-dollar deal hangs in the balance, tied to your reputation, your bonuses, the jobs of hundreds. The weight of that responsibility is a physical ache in your chest. Sleep is a forgotten luxury. You get unimaginable wealth, unparalleled influence, and the satisfaction of shaping global commerce. It costs you your soul, your ethical compass, and the quiet fear that your success is built on a foundation of sand. Nobody warns you about the second part. Star Level 6, the Portfolio Manager PM. Star. This is the top, the ultimate power. The brutal truth? You are the lonely god. You are the maestro, the one who truly moves markets. You're managing billions, sometimes tens or hundreds of billions, for institutions, pension funds, sovereign wealth funds. Your decisions ripple across the global economy. You are the ultimate arbiter of risk and reward. The MDs report to you for allocations. For strategy, your compensation is tied directly to the performance of your fund. A percentage of the profits you generate, which can be astronomical. But every single day you are measured. Against benchmarks, against competitors, against an unforgiving market. One bad quarter, one misread trend, one major bet gone wrong, and your multi-billion-dollar fund sees redemptions. The clients pull their money. The prestige evaporates. Your legend unravels. You don't just work for the firm. In many ways, the firm works for you, or rather for your track record. The isolation is profound. Every single decision, every trade, every macro call, every geopolitical analysis, it's all on you. The buck stops and starts with you. You are the ultimate gambler, playing with the world's money. And your own reputation. Every second of every market day, you're in your home office, a fortress of screens and data feeds. Far from the city's hum. It's 5 a.m. Market open in London. You've been up for hours. Tracking a surprise election result in a major European economy. The market's reaction is violent, unpredictable. The models are screaming conflicting signals. Your largest position, a massive long bet on a specific currency pair, is hemorrhaging value. The red numbers are blinking, escalating. Your finger hovers over the sell button, but pulling the trigger now would lock in a catastrophic loss, potentially wiping out months of gains, triggering a cascade of redemptions. Holding might mean recovery, or it might mean total devastation. The calls from traders in London and New York are coming in, frantic, awaiting your command. Your heart is a drum against your ribs. The fate of hundreds of millions, perhaps billions, of dollars rests on this single agonizing decision. Your legend, your career, your star legacy star, all hinges on this split second, this gut feeling, this final, lonely choice. The silence in the room is deafening, punctuated only by the relentless hum of the servers and the frantic updates on your screens. You get ultimate control, godlike influence over capital, and a wealth that transcends mere financial freedom. It costs you your humanity, your moral compass, and the chilling realization that you are merely a custodian of an insatiable, ever-hungry beast. Nobody warns you about the second part. So there it is, the ascent, the cost. You claw your way up. You sacrifice everything. You accumulate power beyond most people's wildest dreams. And at the very top, when you finally have it all, you realize you're just another cog in an even bigger machine. A grander illusion. The game doesn't end. It just demands a higher price. And for the vast majority, they never make it past level 2. They just burn out. But for those who do, the question becomes, what's left of Star You Star when the climb is finally over? Was it worth it? And who truly owns your soul now?